Greetings and hello. The issue of men's rights is a definitive topic, which means that you are either completely for men being treated as human beings, or you are against it. It is not a spectrum, but rather binary code. You are either one who is for and supports men's rights, or you are a zero who is against men having their rights as human beings. There is no compromise on men's rights issues. If you support child support, then you are for male slavery. If you support male-only conscription, you want men to die. If you are in any way supportive of male genital mutilation, you are an anti-male scumbag. If you support giving women priority, you are a misandrist. If you want men to be subservient to women in any way, you are not pro-male. This is one of the reasons why true pro-male men have to be diligent about who they let into their spaces, as any feminist or traditionalist invaders are anti-male and are out to hurt men. If any apathy or downplaying toward male oppression is given, then it normalizes the abuse of men and boys. This should not stand in any setting. Telling men that their issues are not as important as women's is a tactic to shut down any opposition to the feminist status quo. It is deliberate and maliciously meant to stop pro-male men from raising awareness about men being the oppressed gender. So any talk or contemplation that male issues are not as significant as they are is a sure giveaway that the person speaking is anti-male. Any person who truly supports the rights of men would not be using such rhetoric. They would instead have a no-tolerance approach against men being abused. This is lacking in the vast majority of so-called men's rights communities, who are by the way mostly composed of deselected tradcans. Such communities rally on about women's sexual behavior, but do not care if other men are abused and downplay the abuse men face. Focusing only on the sexual behavior of women while ignoring the actual human rights of men is another anti-male trait. This aligns perfectly with the behavior of mainstream men's rights activists. They go on about not being able to find a woman or get a date, and at the same time, they ignore or make a mockery of actual pro-male men who want to get the feminists stopped and brought to justice. These fake men's rights activists say, quote, "You are too extreme or you are just like the feminists." But they are fine when feminists and man-hating tradcans come in and start disparaging men. Such people are all anti-male as they are complacent in and support misandry. They give man-hating people a platform to attack men. They themselves support feminists and their attacks on men as they want to gain their approval. These men are just men who want to get a girl. They have no care for their fellow man or male issues and would gladly throw another man under the bus at the behest of a woman. Such spaces are feminist by proxy, since the people in these spaces support what feminists are doing in their disenfranchisement of men. They are purposeful controlled opposition in order to keep real men's rights activists silenced and uphold the feminist status quo. These do more harm than good by calling themselves pro-male, but exhibiting entirely male-hostile attitudes, which are entirely supportive of feminist hate. When such fake men's rights activists are challenged by feminists, they are complacent and validate feminism's frame, thus getting nowhere. This allows the feminist influence to get larger because of proxy support. Laying down and not fighting the abuse thrown at your direction because you are a man is indicative that you support the gynocentric paradigm. This is what false men's rights activists achieve when pandering to feminists and other anti-male individuals who come into men's rights subreddits to spite the users. The anti-male people who go into such subs designed for men are not there out of friendliness or wanting to learn, as man-haters never have altruistic or good intentions. They are there out of wanting to harm and attack you because you are a man. Women only select men that pander to them for relationships. And such pandering counts as oppressing other men and spreading feminist hate-mongering propaganda out of spite and hatred toward men. So, any man seeking to pander to a woman is anti-male, as they are willing to throw other men under the bus to get with the girl. This is the same with fake MRAs on the main so-called men's rights channels and spaces. They are full of gynocentric men who temporarily vent and go back to hating on men and attacking them once they find a girl to pander to. All this can be put to a stop and halted if pro-male men continue to spread their message. The pro-male message is not up to debate. It is a fact that men need their human rights, and that we are human. We deserve equal treatment by the fact that we are born, and anything else is bigotry toward men. Anyone against men getting their rights as human beings is a misandrist who needs to be dealt with appropriately and not allowed into pro-male spaces. If men start assuming the true pro-male frame of reference and call out feminists, feminism will lose its proxies. It will start to lose its hold on the media, society, and governments after sufficient pushback from enough pro-male men. This is what is required to stop the hate movement that is feminism. A hate movement should not be addressed politely, as feminists deserve contempt, shaming, and consequences, not politeness and open arms. So far, the actual only pro-male space is the pro-male collective, as the men's rights channels are feminist-aligned. Supporting and giving credence to anti-male positions is misandry. There are no compromises to be made on men's rights. It is binary. It is either you are for men getting abused and discriminated against for their gender, or you are against it in all cases. Any so-called compromise is pandering to hate. It is being supportive of the systems that keep men abused and disenfranchised. Pandering to feminists and their talking points, and reinforcing them, will only give feminists more power. Feminism needs to be stopped by any means possible, and any apathy or pandering to their viewpoint is being for them. The pro-male collective does not tolerate this, as pandering and compromising with man-haters supports the abuse and disenfranchisement of men. Any true space with men's rights in mind recognizes misandry and kicks it out. Men are not to be devalued and abused because of their sex.